Hey, Dave here. I hope you're having an awesome day. This week is going to be a little bit different. I want to fix a toy that I made about a year and a half ago before I even had my YouTube channel. It's this Hulk. I found him at the thrift store for like $1, and it was a really sweet action figure, but I was trying to take some pictures of him, and at the time I didn't have any lighting for photography, so the best lighting was in my bathroom and on the window ledge, and so I had him up on the ledge, and I was taking some pictures of him, and I was adjusting him, and I bumped him, and he fell off, hit the tile floor, and he like broke into a bunch of pieces. So what I did was I ended up gluing it into a pose. I took some Milliput and I filled in all of the action figure joints, so it ended up looking more like a figurine. I made a really cool base. I'll show you that in a minute. But I didn't peg it down to the base, and I was showing a friend and I bumped it again, and it actually fell off the base, hit the floor, and broke. So all of the places where I had filled in the putty, and I'll show you this closer up later, but it kind of chipped and broke. So I want to fix this, get it pegged back into place. I don't have any video of when I originally made this, but I do have some photographs, so I'll kind of include those into the video just so you can see the original work that I did. Let's fix this up and make it look awesome. Come on, let's do it. Okay, so we're going to start off. This is the Milliput just in the joints of the action figure. You'll see I primed it gray. That was just so I can see any little tiny spots that need to be sanded down, fixed up. So I'm kind of just finishing off any little pieces there. You'll see when you look at the Hulk here, there's something in his mouth. That's actually silly putty. The paint job on the teeth were really nice. I wanted to keep that. Then I painted it green. I just used spray paint right out of a can. It looked pretty great. And then I did a brown wash over the entire body just to give it that nice depth. And then just kind of going in, painting the details of the shorts, getting those wrapped up. Then for my base, what I did was I actually took a piece of cork that you put plants on, and I drew some little cracks on the ground. You can see I outlined where his feet were. And then I just took a little pick and just started ripping it to shreds. Now the next picture looks kind of like an old oatmeal cookie, but this is actually before it was painted. You can see all the broken pieces. And then when it's painted, once it's painted, I just dry brushed it and made it look pretty cool. Okay, so you can see right in there where some of it chipped off. Down here by his ankle, all that chipped out. The backside all chipped out. I got a little crack on his backside right there. So just a few little places where I need to touch it up, but should be pretty easy to do. A little chip right there. You can see the green color underneath, so I repainted him, gave him some really cool speckles, repainted his shorts or his pants, repainted his face. So I want to get that all buttoned up and fixed, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so I normally love using Milliput, but I got this Magic Sculpt, so I wanted to give it a shot. It's the same idea. It's a 50-50 mixture, so you take a little pinch of that, of part 1 and a little pinch of part 2, and fold that together and keep folding it until it becomes one color. And then it's kind of like clay, essentially. You just kind of roll it out and push it on. Something that's kind of fun is if you use water, it will kind of smooth that out pretty nice. Just got my sculpting tools and I'm trying to get the shape of the body and the muscles, and so I'm using those sculpting tools to kind of really form that and make it look as accurate as possible. So this actually worked out really nice, and in the end I think we got some really good sculpts. Okay, so we got them all patched up. I got the arm all fixed up there, the foot, that's pretty major, a couple little tiny things here in the pants. Once it dries, I can actually sculpt that out a little tiny bit more, but I think I got some pretty good textures in there already. So the next thing is just be patient, wait, let it dry, and then we'll try and repaint it to match the original paint job. Alright, so what I did to touch up the paint was I actually still had the spray paint in my paint cabinet, so I just sprayed it into a little plastic cup and I'm just touching it up here. I did have to do a couple coats just because of the lighter color of the putty, but it turned out pretty nice. Just note to self, be careful, the spray paint does eventually eat through the plastic cups, but I did the same with the purple, just touched it up. Again, I had to do a couple coats, but work it through, blend it in. While that's drying, I went ahead and glued on the little diorama cork street that I made. A little treat for you there at the end. Smiley face. Whoop. And glued that on. Let that dry. And then while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and do a wash. I just grabbed whatever acrylic paint was close by. So I have this brown Vallejo. Look, another little smiley face. And I just mixed up a tiny, tiny bit and brushed that in. And just blend it all in so it looks pretty good. Then at the end, I wasn't sure how to align that hole with my base. So I had this idea. What I did was I just took a chopstick and I trimmed that off. Then I took a little bit of white paint. You'll see here in just a second. And I just kind of brushed a little bit of glob of white paint on there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to align this up on the base and then just kind of press that down. And it's going to give me a nice little mark of where I need to drill my hole. So that hole should now line with the peg. So I just grab the drill the hole through. Then I got my peg. I was actually pushing it in. I didn't mean to push it this hard, and I snapped my stick, but no big deal. I had plenty of extra to fit through there, so glued that up. I actually glued it, stuck it in, then I measured the distance, trimmed it off. That way I could just finish gluing up this bottom piece here and slide it on in the hole there, and it is going to be as good as new. Now it'll be pegged, nice and safe, and hopefully won't fall off the shelf anymore. All right, got them all pegged up and got the glue is dry, kind of repainted the edge there. It's looking pretty cool. Let's take a little look at this finished. And as always, it is a great day to be a toy nerd. Have a great one. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe. Talk to you later.